Ben2, Wumbo, interview, take one. Introduce yourselves, talk to each other, talk about the scene, talk about rivals, talk about goonery. So yeah, introduce each other.
Well, I'm Wumbo. I'm a Chicago Smash 4 player. I also TO for middle spin events, E2C events in general. I'm the main TO for Rivals in Chicago, and I just got second in Rivals at FTK.
I'm Ben2. I'm a local obsa here from St. Louis. I help run the tournaments around here and try to keep the community on track, try to organize some events. I'm part of some of the other smaller communities around here, part of the FTC, Melee community, some of the larger ones as well. I just really like gaming, and I really like Rivals of Aether. So, one thing I hear about the kind of Chicago Rivals of Aether scene a lot. It sounds like you guys got some pretty good talent up there.
Our scene is insanely small. We really only are able to have tournaments during Middle's main events, and generally our turnout's actually pretty decent. Last Middle's main event, Middle's main 11, we had around 25 something entrants. Our entrance got the amount of people entering was boosted up a little because Mr. Ellis was actually there because the Melee Arcadian was having it the next day, so he decided, I'm here, might as well play Rivals of Aether, and he destroyed everyone. Our best player, Sego, could not even take a game.
Ooh.
That was kind of rough.
Oof. Well, and I think that's kind of a good thing in the end, is having top players come out to the different regions and show people what the game's about. Because at a high level, Rivals of Aether is so fast and fun and entertaining, and it really makes people want to play the game, I think.
Definitely. When I was at Frostbite this year, everyone was going crazy for Rivals top 8, especially Central Florida since Moogie. Basically just quit Smash 4 and then started going crazy in the rival scene. Everyone was going crazy. People that never played rivals sitting there man, I need to pick this up.
Mm-hmm. At Smash and Splash, I was actually hanging out with my room with the 7 other people who were staying there with me, and we were watching top 8 of Rivals of Aether, and I was kind of doing my own little commentary for it, trying to hype the game up for them, and I got a couple of them to pick it up. But it's still kind of a very grassroots scene around the nation. I think we have our established top players like Penguin and Fullstream and Kakasol who are out there doing really well and showing what this game is actually about and what the characters are capable of. And I feel like that's slowly starting to trickle down. Every local region having their top player who can go out and teach people the game and express their love for it. And it's a very slow trend, but I feel like we're still trending upward for sure.
We definitely are, and it also helps the continued developer support. It's really there. Dan Salvato, Edelus, they're all not Dan Salvato, Dan Fernace, or how you pronounce his last name. They're really involved in the scene and always try to make sure they're listening to feedback. And they've made it easier for TOs to run tournaments now because now we don't have to deal with the controller issues where you couldn't play with PS4 and GameCube controllers on some of them because of how weird it was.
Yeah.
So thankfully now with all of that happening, just Rivals itself is getting a larger scene, coming back in. It also helps that they're putting the game on sale so much, so it's not as big of an investment for people to buy it.
Oh, no, that's a big thing too, is that game goes on sale every 2-3 months, and I've gotten so many other friends to buy it, because I'm like, come on, it's $5, you know you wanna.
$5, and then it's gonna be $15 in total to get it. No, actually, I mean $15, $10, $12.
Yeah,
to get
I
all
think
the
it was
DLCs
12 something with change, just to get the game and all the DLC characters, a few of the costumes. It's really cheap, it's really accessible, and it has one of the greatest tutorials and training modes of anything I've ever seen. You can lab out so much. A feature that I really, really love from it is in the replay menu, you can pause it on a frame and take that frame directly into training mode. You can be like, okay, so I got hit here. If I could have DI'd this way, could I have hit this follow-up or done this? And it gives you tools to lab out any situation you're going to encounter, and it has such a high skill ceiling because of that. But at the same time, it also can be a very fun and very casual game. It's easy to pick up, hard to master.
Definitely, even if you don't want to play competitively, it has the Aether stages just to play for fun. The only thing is, I will complain, I'm pretty sure they haven't fixed this, but online doubles is still kind of whack, as far as I remember. Because I don't believe you can play with 2 people on the same computer and then go on. I think you can only play 2 people on the same computer and go online.
And I've never actually messed with online doubles and Rivals much. Most of the time it's just having people over, having little fests or little training sessions here in St. Louis. What kind of events do you guys like to do aside from Midwest Mayhem and everything? Do you have online tournaments or little weeklies that you do?
We don't really have tournaments or anything because our scene, like I said, is like really small, and since like Chicago's like a big area, the Chicagoland area like spreads out really far. A lot of us are like really like, far apart from each other. Like even then, like not all of us have like each other added on Discord, Facebook, anything like that. So generally, we only really meet up for Middle's main events. I know like it also like doesn't help that Sego. He's our best player. He's from Wisconsin. Like he's just from the by the border. So he's always able to come down for events. I know our second best player, High Symbol. He's like I think he's like in the west side. So even then, like all of us are really far away from each other.
But I feel like in that vein, Rivals does have a really strong online community. They have the Pro League that does online tournaments that they hand out like reward skins for and stuff. And actually here in St. Louis, we're kind of working on getting like an online weekly started because we've always had a little bit of trouble locking down a venue, finding a home for us. But we've got a Discord and like we're slowly accumulating members over time. And like some of our better players, like FTK lives very close down here. I live like over towards South County in Fenton. Ziga's like 40, 50 minutes away from here. We're pretty much scattered all over the place, but we all really like the game and being able to queue up in lobbies online and settle things that way. I feel like it's going to help grow the scene a lot.
Chicago definitely needs to do something like that. I think I'm probably gonna have to do this on the main TO, but like my main issue is like my work schedule doesn't always like allow me to like have a set one. I work shifts. So unfortunately, that's like it's gonna be a bit iffy. Like to try to get more, like try to get an online weekly started. And also doesn't help that like our scene, like we have like returning players, but they don't really communicate with everyone. Like they stay in their own little clique compared to me, like trying to get everyone to like come out again. Like they all see our events go up, but they don't really talk. They all come to the events. It just needs to foster like a stronger sense of community.
Yeah, for sure. All of our top players, because the way our scene kind of came about was Save Decadia came up to me, or he brought Rivals of Aether to our Melee weeklies. And he's like, hey, everybody try this game. I'm like, you very bad Smash Bros. Why would I ever want to play that? And then I actually gave it the time of day and I realized how passionate he was about it and how great of a game it really was. And I feel like having passionate community members like yourself definitely helps grow a scene. Anytime a new player comes up, I make a point to go up and talk to them, figure out who they played, try to learn their name, hand them, like, get their phone and join the Discord.
I actually think Chicago should make a Discord, so I'm probably gonna like work on that whenever I get home. So because right now we really only have a Facebook page, but it's really only for me to like advertise those main events, or like something like big is happening in the scene, like just some big news that happened. Like that's where we post it. Even then, like even now there's not that much discussion, but just having a Discord I think will definitely help. Because I'm in the St. Louis Discord as well, and that's why I also like sometimes advertise those main events. Because I wanted to get people off to Middles Main 11, but it was really last minute that I advertised it.
Yeah, and one big thing I actually talked about with all the guys here today is that we're going to start trying to travel to other events, because I was a big guy for Melee for a long time. I went to everything I could. I traveled to as many states as possible, played as many tournaments as possible, and honestly I could do that for Rivals too, and if I brought some people with me, I feel like that could be very healthy for the scene too, get a little bit of crossover, build that bond between the regions, and I feel like a big attraction for people playing games is having a community there that actually appreciates the game and will like bring them around, and having that across borders can encourage a lot of travel too.
Definitely. Right now, I was actually tasked to do this, but Middles Main 12 is like it's just like a kind of unofficial announcement, unofficial official announcement.
Hot take.
But Middles Main 12, I talked to our main TO Joe. He said somewhere around September or October we're gonna have it. It's probably gonna be our last one before Smash Ultimate comes out, and we're gonna be having Smash 4 singles and doubles, of course. We're gonna be Rivals of Aether, ARMS, and Pokken DX. That's now our main side events lineup. I'm the one that runs all the side events. So we're gonna be having it sometime around then. We're still figuring out the venue and everything, and the Smash UG page I believe is gonna go up soon. And also going along with Middles Main events, we have Middles Main Ultimates on December 29th of 2018. It's gonna be our first Smash Ultimate event, and it's also gonna be having ARMS, Rivals, and Pokken. And I'm trying really, really hard to get Slap City added to both those tournaments. Because Slap City and Rivals actually has like a lot of crossover.
Oh yeah, if you can get people to play platform fighters that aren't just Smash Brothers, they're gonna play all of them. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But St. Louis is such a weird exception, I feel like, because we have offline scenes for Pokin, for Under Night, for Rivals, for Slap City, who like meet up and like bring their setups and stream the game, talk about it, all get to know each other and hang out. And we actually have, I only very recently started like going to FGC events and stuff. But they're on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which were the Melee weeklies, where I kind of slipped Rivals in, so those became our Rivals weeklies too. But we never, like, we ran free brackets for a while, and we got some people interested in the game. But when it came down to just not having the time or the manpower to run those kind of things, I started changing those days into like Rivals of Aether fests, where people could hang out with like our top players, play the game with them, learn some stuff, get to know people, and those kind of run themselves autonomously. I just make a little post in the Discord. It's like, hey guys, so and so will be at Yeti today with the setup. Come on up, play some games, and having an environment to just come and play casuals too is very helpful.
That's what I was actually considering if we were doing it for our Tuesday weekly in Chicago, Raid Tuesdays. I was actually like in talks with the main TL for it, but unfortunately I was going into my finals week, so it all kind of fizzled out. But actually, speaking of Raid, it's like a gaming store kind of, like where you sit down, like you pay a amount of money to play something. They do have their own Friday weeklies for Rivals, but I personally do not like the TOs that much. They're not really sure how to run the game. I think they just added the game because they saw like the Facebook group that I run and like our community there. But generally they don't even get like 2 people out to it right now, so I'm kind of hoping if when I'm actually able to start a weekly for it, or even just do anything for it, I'm able to get the numbers up. Because the 3 people I saw in their bracket were like completely new people I've never seen before. And I was kind of thinking they might have been like just holdovers from like the FGC night that they have on Fridays there.
And that's the thing is you do have these little like scattered events that happen here and there just to pick up Rivals. And unfortunately, kind of like the last Midwest Mayhem, we had no clue those had Rivals, and we didn't really hear about it until like maybe a week beforehand, when a lot of us couldn't really get off work. But like, there are these little events that pop up that like have Rivals and get some people out to them, but we don't manage to make it out there and network with those people and get them to actually join our community. So I feel like, and I'm not really sure how we go about staying on the pulse of tournaments like that, but I feel like being proactive and getting Rivals added to things ourselves could help a lot. Like the Apollo monthlies here in St. Louis draw a lot of people from all over the Midwest for fighting games and Smash and stuff. We could definitely get some people to come up for Rivals for that, I think.
Yeah, that's how I did a huge push to get Rivals added to Midwest Mayhem. I believe the first one we threw it at was Midwest Mayhem 5 or no, it was 7 or 8. That was our first time having it, and even then, like we still had like a good amount of people for the first tournament. Around 13, 14 people, just like for the first tournament ever in Chicago. I think that was like a really good amount. And ever since then, it's been growing pretty well. So like, just the fact like inserting Rivals into like big events at least is able to like, put so much life into it. I think it's going to help out overall once the scene gets bigger, especially when Smash Ultimate comes out. And even now, since Dan Fernash did tweet about it like a really long time ago, he does want to bring Rivals to Switch. And he said he's not sure when that'll ever happen, but the fact that it does come out to Switch, it's going to be so much easier to run events, and it's going to have a lot more people playing that.
Yeah, no, I've had friends straight up tell me that they'll get the game if it comes out on Switch. Like I have a good buddy, Cameron, who's a huge Melee player, but he doesn't enter events or anything, he just really loves the game. And he looks at Riot and he's like, man, that game's crazy, I just have no way to play it. And he's like, if they put it on the Switch, I'll enter events, I'll do everything. Yeah, that would be a huge help to our scene for sure. But we're just holding out hope. Let's wrap it up.
Alright. Well, right now we're still at FTK. The event's still going on right now. So we're gonna see how, maybe we can probably get like more people to try it out, honestly, because everyone's like trying Slap City out because it's like the new wacky one. But if they want something equally as like challenging, because Slap City actually does have a really high skill ceiling. It's a really hard game overall. You wouldn't expect it, but it is. It's really comparable to Rivals because it has a lot of the same mechanics. Moonwalking, wave dashing, wave landing, stuff like that, except it does have shields.
Well, once again, I'm Ben2. I'm here with Wumbo, who was gracious enough to come out to our tournament and bless us with his presence and fool on some kids with Edelus. Very cool to see, a lot of fun commentating your sets. We're here for the kids, raising a little bit of money here for Extra Life. Stay tuned, keep watching, have a good time, play Rivals of Aether.
Definitely.